Hello and welcome dear students to our series of grammar and use. In this video we are going to explore the passive in the past. You requested to have a pen and notepad ready so that you can take down the pointers and construct the sentences along with us. Let us dive into it. The passive in the past. English uses the passive voice in the past to stress the effect of an action that happened in the past rather than the cause of that action. The cause of that action means the person or the subject. Now, to put it down in simple words, is that the focus is mainly on the action, not on the person who did that action or who carried out that action. Let us look at the first pointer, that is the past simple passive. The simple passive is the past simple. The past simple passive is used when referring to a single completed action in the past, focusing on the effect rather than the cause. Now remember over here the cause is actually the person or the subject in the sentence. Let us have a look at the example portraying the picture the burning of a building. That buildings were doused in fire. The fire destroyed the buildings. The fire destroyed the buildings. Over here the destroyed, this word is simple past or past simple. And we can see that in the second sentence, the buildings were destroyed by the fire. Were destroyed is simple past but passive. The first sentence is in active voice. The fire is doing the action, so it is an active voice. The fire destroyed the buildings. We look at the verb and we determine that it is simple past. We interchange the object of the sentence to the subject and the subject of the sentence to the object, and then we have the passive voice. Let us understand this construction properly. The fire destroyed the buildings. We bring the fire, the subject, and make it the object of the sentence, and we take this object of the sentence and make it the subject, and the verb simple past changes to were destroyed. The buildings were destroyed by the fire. Now you may look at this auxiliary. This auxiliary changes according to the subject. If it is the buildings, it will take were. If it is the building, it will take was. So this auxiliary changes according to the subject. Let us look at further examples as per this construction. The trees were cut down last year. Over here, the trees is in plural, so that's why were. The railroad was damaged during the storm. The railroad is singular, that's why was. Two people were injured in the incident. Were because the number is two or many. So that's why were. At this moment, you are requested to construct a few sentences with the same construction where were and some verb is used, was and some verb is used in the past tense, were and some verb is used in the past tense. Now let us look at the construction, how this sentence is constructed, how to form such a sentence. Let us first look at the table. It has got a subject, then the auxiliary was or were depending on the subject, and then we have the past participle, that is with an ed or past tense, past participle. Then the rest of the sentence. The sentence that we have before us is the buildings were destroyed in a fire. The thing that receives the action, the building received the action, so that's why passive voice. Were, was is the singular subject, were is the plural, that is an auxiliary that we are using. The main verb is in the past participle. So at this moment, we request you to construct a similar sentence so you get a clear idea of how passive voice is built using past tense. The next construction is past continuous passive. Past continuous can also be used in the passive voice. It is used to refer an ongoing action, or it is used to refer ongoing actions in the past. For example, the sentence that we have before us is secret agents were watching him. Were watching over here is past continuous, and this sentence is in active voice. Now let's look at the passive voice. He was being watched by secret agents. Over here, subject becomes the object becomes the subject becomes the object, the verb is changed. Was being watched is past continuous tense. Let us see how this was changed. Secret agents were watching him. Secret agents were the subject that came towards the end of the sentence as the object of the verb. The object of this verb becomes the subject. The verb watching was changed to was being watched. Being is introduced over here because of continuous tense in the passive. The sentence becomes he was being watched by secret agents. Let us look at certain more examples. The students were being taught how to write good essays. By the time I got back to my car, it was being taken away. I went for lunch while my car was being fixed. The new secretary was being shown how to use the computer. We bought our house while it was being built. At this moment, you may pause the video and construct similar sentences using the verb, how it is used in the sentence. And for an advanced challenge, you may construct the active voice and then the passive voice for your own knowledge. Let us look at the structure, how it is constructed. Subject, auxiliary, being, it is a compulsory part of the continuous tense and passive voice, and then past participle and the rest of the sentence. For the subject, we are considering the third person pronoun he, the thing that receives the action. Was is the singular subject, were is for plural subjects. So we are using was because subject is singular. Was being watched, past participle. The main verb is expressed in past participle by the secret agents. The sentence is to be read as he was being watched by secret agents. The next pointer that we have is the present perfect in the passive voice. Present perfect passive is used to talk about events in the past that still have an effect on the present moment. The sentence is don't worry, comma, I have fed the cats. It is actually this part of the sentence only that requires to become the passive. Over here, this is an active voice, have fed is present perfect, and now we will be changing it. Don't worry remains as such. It's only this second part of the sentence that is to be changed. So cats, it is shifted here, I, it is understood, and have fed becomes have been fed. Let us see the construction, how it changes. I have fed the cat. I've taken only the second part of the sentence for explanation. I, it is understood by me. So we do not consider that in the passive voice. The cat, object of the verb becomes the subject in the passive voice, and have fed becomes have been fed. Remember that over here have was for I. The subject was I, so it was taking have. Over here, the cats, the plural, they are taking the have with it. So plural is taking have. So this auxiliary changes according to the subject in the sentence. It is actually the verb that is to be changed. That is fed becomes been fed. That is present perfect passive voice. Now let us see certain examples with this construction. The door has been painted beautifully. We are using has because the door is singular. Do you know if all the lights have been turned off? Lights is plural, so we are using have. Been turned off is the passive voice. Has your computer been fixed yet? It broke months ago. The subject in the verb swap has places because has your computer over here has will take the question tag. So the subject and the verb swap places to form questions. If the sentence if your computer has been fixed yet would have been a sentence or a statement. But for question, your computer has your computer has becomes the question. The new parts have been delivered yet. The new parts haven't been delivered yet, so you will have to wait. Haven't been delivered is the passive voice and it is the continuous tense. All of the smoke detectors have been replaced. So if we look at the construction, we are looking at the present perfect in the passive. Have been. Present perfect in the passive. So now let us look at the present perfect in the passive. The cats have been fed. The subject is the cats. Has or have takes according to the subject. Been past participle. By me is dropped. The thing that receives the action, the cats, so it's passive voice. Been stays same to matter what the subject is, it remains intact. The main verb is expressed as a as a past participle. At this moment, you are requested to pause the video and construct a sentence with a similar structure. Let us proceed to the next pointer. The next pointer is the past perfect passive voice. Now, the past perfect passive is used to refer to events that happened before another event in the past. That means one event is over, another event is over. So you're pointing out to the most previous event or the first in the time zone. Unfortunately, the organizer cancelled the party. Had cancelled is past perfect. In the passive voice, it becomes past perfect passive. That means had been cancelled. Unfortunately, the party had been cancelled. Now, unfortunately remains as such. It is only the organizer cancelled the party that is we are changing. Let me explain that to you so that only the second part is considered. The organizer had cancelled the party. The party had been cancelled by the organizer. The party becomes the subject. The organizer becomes the object of the sentence. Had cancelled becomes had been cancelled. So it is past perfect that changes to past perfect passive in this sentence. Let us see certain more examples or constructions. This part of the Arctic had never been explored before. The class hadn't been told that the lecture had been cancelled. Sue didn't realize that the floor had just been polished. We were about to sing happy birthday, but the cake had been eaten. Anna was so happy that her cat had been found. These sentences are in passive voice, and which form of the passive voice? It is past perfect. Now let us look at the pointer, how it is constructed. Let us analyze the structure. How to form it? The subject is the party. Had been is used and then is the past participle. The party had been cancelled. The thing that receives the action is the party. Had been stays the same with any subject, and then we have the past participle, that is the main verb that is used over here. At this point, you are requested to pause the video and construct a sentence for your own understanding. With this, we have come to the end of the video. If you like the video, click on like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for your kind attention.